Hello everyone. Today we are starting a new chapter, chapter number 8, Introduction to Trigonometry. Now suppose we have to find out certain distances or heights of certain monuments or buildings that will be found out or that we can find out from certain with the help of certain mathematical techniques which come under the category of mathematics, that is a branch of mathematics known as trigonometry. Okay, and trigonometry is a word which have been derived from Greek words tri, gon and metron. Tri means 3, gon means sides and metron means measure. That means trigonometry is the study of or is the measuring of the sides of triangle. Okay, so what is trigonometry? It is comprising of 3 Greek words tri, gon and metron. The meaning of tri is 3, gon means sides, metron means measure. So combining all these 3 you will get trigonometry is the study of or is measuring the sides of a 3-sided figure. When we say 3-sided figure, it is a triangle. Okay, trigonometric is this one. That is, trigonometry is the study of the sides, that is the study of the relationship connecting the sides and angles of a triangle. Study of the relationships between the angles and the sides of a triangle. Now when I say of a triangle, it will be probably a right angled triangle. Okay. Now in this chapter we are studying about certain ratios of the sides of a right triangle with respect to its acute angles, and those ratios are called trigonometric ratios of the angle. Okay. So starting with the topic trigonometric ratios, we have considered a right triangle, right angled at B. Now we have been known that this AC is always known as hypotenuse. Okay, that is the side opposite to 90 degree is the hypotenuse, that is the longest side. And I am considering here A. Actually you have 2 acute angles, but I am considering first here A, and with respect to this A, I will say that the side which is opposite to angle A is known as side opposite to angle A or opposite side, and the side which is nearby A except that hypotenuse, nearby A means that is known as side adjacent to angle A. Okay, so you have 3 sides. One is hypotenuse, which is AC. BC, according to this angle A, BC is the opposite side, and according to angle A, this AB is the adjacent side. Okay, now we have 6 trigonometric ratios. We are just defining those 6 trigonometric functions. First one is sine function, S-I-N-E, sine function. Second one is cosine function. Then next thing is known as tangent. Then next one is cosecant. Next is secant. And the last one is cotangent. Okay, and these 6 have been abbreviated as sine. Again we will say it as sine only, but we will write S-I-N only. Now for cosine, its abbreviation is cos, C-O-S. For tangent, the abbreviation is tan, T-A-N. For cosecant, the abbreviation is cosec. For secant, the abbreviation is sec. For cotangent, the abbreviation is cot. So generally we will use these things to mention any trigonometric ratios. That is, the 6 trigonometric ratios are written like this only. We won't use these. Okay. And now what we are doing is we are just defining what is the definition according to the trigonometric ratios definition we are just defining. So according to angle A, what will be sine, cos, tan, cosec, sec and cot we are doing. So how we will represent is, we will write sine A in order to understand that it is with respect to the angle A, because it can be with respect to angle C also. So here we are dealing with angle A, so we will write sine A, cos A, tan A, cosec A, sec A, cot A. Okay. Now we are just starting the definition of each trigonometric ratio. First one is sine A. For sine A, the definition is opposite side. Opposite side to what? To the angle which you have considered. Opposite side or side opposite to angle A divided by hypotenuse is the definition for sine of the angle A. If this is angle A, its opposite side by hypotenuse. Now according to the figure, what is the opposite side? BC by AC. This is the definition of sine A. Next is cos A. Again it is cos, cosine. Cosine's abbreviation is here cos A. So here cos A is, again go to the angle A, its adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. So adjacent side or side adjacent to angle A divided by hypotenuse will give you cos A. And what is that adjacent side here? With respect to the figure, you have to write AB by AC. Okay, so cos A is adjacent side by hypotenuse. Next is tan A. Tan A is opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side by adjacent side. That means you will get opposite side is BC, adjacent side is AB. So BC by AB is tan A. Next is, after this we will talk about what is cosec A. Now cosec A, after these three trigonometric ratios, the remaining three are reciprocal of each one respectively. That means cosec A is the reciprocal of sine. So you can write 1 by sine A also for cosec A. And what is 1 by sine? You just see, you have to take the reciprocal of this. So it will have hypotenuse divided by opposite side is your cosecant or cosec A. And when you say hypotenuse by opposite, it will give you AC by BC. Next is the reciprocal. Next one which I am writing is sec A. And the sec A is the reciprocal of the second one, that is cos. 1 by cos A. Okay. So what you will have? Take the reciprocal, you will have hypotenuse by adjacent side, which is equal to AC by AB. And the last one is, again it will be the reciprocal of the third one, and it is cot A. Cot A will be same as 1 by tan A, which is equal to adjacent side by opposite side. That is, according to the figure, you will get AB by BC. Okay. Now again starting with tan A, if I write tan A as BC by AB, I can also write it as BC by AC. That is, with the common thing, I am dividing both the numerator and the denominator. So BC by AC by AB by AC will give you same BC by AB. Now what is BC by AC? Just see, it is sine A. Sine A. And what is AB by AC? It is cos A. So we have got that tan A is same as sine A by cos A. Now again we know that cot A is the reciprocal of tan A. So we can write cot A as 1 by tan A, which is same as the reciprocal of this. Or you can say it will be cos A by sin A. So cot A is cos A by sin A. So these are the relation connecting the angle and the sides of the given right angled triangle, and this is what is known as trigonometric ratios. Now don't get confused with what is sin A, because sin A is nothing but sine, S-I-N-E, sine of the angle A, and not the product of sine and A. It is not the product of sine and A. It is only a representation of sine of angle A. That means if I write only sine, it doesn't have any meaning. That means if we separate sine and A, then it doesn't have any meaning. Similarly, if you write cos A, it doesn't mean cos into A, but it is the abbreviation or the simplest form to write cosine of the angle A. Now, if suppose I am changing, instead of angle A, I am taking angle C, that is also acute angle. So, with respect to that angle C, I am finding out all those trigonometric ratios. Then the notation will become like sin C, cos C, tan C, etc. And the definition is not changing. This definition will not change. That is, sin C is same as opposite side by hypotenuse. Then what will change? The side will change. That means with respect to angle C, opposite side will be AB and adjacent side will be BC. Okay, that is, you can just see that angle C's opposite side is this one. So this will become opposite side and this will become adjacent side. So according to what you are considering as the angle, it will change. Okay. So here the definition is not changing. Sin C is what? Opposite side by hypotenuse. But what you will write? Opposite side is AB by hypotenuse is same AC. Like that it will go. Here what you will get, cos C will become again adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side is BC by AC. Tan C, opposite side by adjacent side. So you will get AB by BC. Cosec C, it is a reciprocal of sin C, so you will get AC by AB. Sec C, reciprocal of cos, will give you AC by BC. And cot C, reciprocal of tan C, which will give you BC by AB. Is it clear now? Now here I have taken a triangle ABC right angled at B and taken a point P on the hypotenuse AC and Q on the same hypotenuse AC extended, and I'm just drawing a perpendicular from P to AB and from Q to AB extended. Now what is my purpose is to check whether the trigonometric ratios related to this angle A will be same for each of these triangles. Here you can see three triangles, right? One is ABC, one is APM, and the third one is AQN. So we are checking whether the trigonometric ratios differ for different triangles if this angle A is same for all the three triangles. Okay, so for that, first we are considering triangle APM and triangle ACB. Okay, APM and ACB. Now what can you say about these two triangles? Just see, and this is also perpendicular. We have drawn perpendiculars, right? So PM is perpendicular. Here you have perpendicular to AB, here also. So these two are 90 degrees. So one pair of angle equal for the triangles, and A is common to both the triangles. So you can say that the two triangles which we have taken are similar, right? And since they are similar, we can say that the sides are proportional. Corresponding sides are proportional. Now if I take AM for the first triangle, AM, it will be, for the second triangle it is AB. So AM by AB will be same as AP by AC will be same as PM by BC. Correct? Now what we are doing is, we are just taking two things, that is two equalities at a time, and finding out whether we can get any relation connecting the two triangles or not. So first, if I'm taking AM by AB equal to AP by AC, then I'm just interchanging, that is taking this to the other side and this to this side. That means I'm having this AM by AP and AB gone there, it will be in the numerator, AB by AC. Why I have done is, this is connected, this whole thing is connected to one triangle and this one is connected to one triangle. Okay, now what is AM by AP we will see. Okay, what is AM by AP? If you consider only this triangle, this is your APM. This is 90, this is A. So what is AM? AM according to angle A we are writing. AM is adjacent side and AP is hypotenuse, right? So you'll get adjacent side by hypotenuse. What is adjacent side by hypotenuse? It is cos A. So you are getting this to be cos of the angle A. Now go for what is AB by AC. AB for the triangle ABC, if you are taking A, this is C, B. Here AB is again adjacent side for the angle A and AC is the hypotenuse. So AB by AC is also cos A. So you are getting both to be equal to cos A. Again, if you take these two together, what you will get? AP by AC is equal to PM by BC. So what we will get here is, we are just taking BC that side. So BC by AC is equal to PM by AP. Now just go for what is in the figure. BC is according to angle A, it is opposite side. Opposite side by AC is hypotenuse. Opposite side by hypotenuse is by definition sine A, right? Now again for the other fraction, if you see in this ratio PM, what is PM in this angle? You have this is opposite and AP is hypotenuse. So again opposite side by hypotenuse will give you sine A. So both are giving you sine A only. Now the third thing is, we will take these two, that is AM by AB is equal to PM by BC. Again we are interchanging the positions, so you will get BC by AB is equal to PM by AM. Now what is BC? BC is opposite side. What is AB? Adjacent side. What is opposite side by adjacent side? It is tan A. So for both the triangles, you are getting the same value for your cos A, sin A and tan A. That means the trigonometric ratios are not changing their value for the angle A, even if the length of the sides are increased or decreased. That is, even if the length of the sides are varying, the trigonometric ratios of the corresponding angles, if the angle is the same, is not changing. Now if you are considering ABC and AQN, then also the two triangles will be similar and the same concept only you are getting. That means for both the things, this triangle and this triangle together with ABC, if the angle A is common there, you are getting the trigonometric ratios to be not varying their values, even if the sides lengths are varying. Now if you have sin A the whole square or cos A the whole square, for the convenience we will write sin square A for sin A the whole square and cos square A for cos A the whole square. But if you are considering cosec A is what? 1 by sin A. And 1 by sin A can be taken as sin A when it comes to the numerator, the whole raised to minus 1. But sin A the whole inverse or whole raised to minus 1 is not same as sin inverse A, because here we have written sin A the whole square as sin square A. But sin A the whole raised to minus 1 should not be written as sin inverse A, because this has certain other meaning, which is sin inverse of A, and it is not related to this. Okay, it is an inverse function of sine. Now again talking about sin A is opposite side by hypotenuse, and hypotenuse, we know that hypotenuse is the longest side, right? It is the longest side of the right triangle. So since it is coming in the denominator, hypotenuse is coming in the denominator, we can say that the value of sine will not go beyond 1. Okay, it will be every time less than 1, or to the maximum it can be equal to 1. So the value of sine is every time less than or equal to 1. And for cos, if we talk again, its denominator, by definition it is also adjacent side by hypotenuse, is opposite side. Cos A is adjacent side by hypotenuse, and again hypotenuse in the denominator, the greater value in the denominator indicates that it will not go beyond 1. That means its value is also less than 1. Cos A will also have value less than 1, or most probably till 1 or equal to 1, but it will not go beyond 1. Okay.